Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the MMA Huddle Live. We are live again. There is no Big Willie. Sadly, he is not here with us today. So don't fear. I am going to do a podcast on my own, as you can see, but I will go into discussion a little bit more about why Will is not here. Before I do go on about why Will is not here, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. So far, we've just hit 1,200 subscribers. So for us, that's fantastic. We're made up with that. Thank you all. We love you all. And please give a like to the video as well. Feel free to. If you've got any picks for the Lewis Oleinik fight card, put your picks down below. Let us know who you're picking. Also, if any bets, love to hear what bets you got going down, because we do know that some guys and some girls do make money off what we say, as well as other guys and girls who make predictions out there. So we are so happy when you guys make money. I'm going to get into why Will is not here tonight. Basically, me and Will have been having a conversation. We've been talking recently about the podcast and everything that's going on with the podcast. At the present time, with Will and work and real life, because like myself, it is a bit time-consuming getting everything to fit. And we sometimes only have a small amount of time in our own schedule, personal lives that cross, where Will can make the podcast. Sadly, this week he hasn't been able to make it. We are looking at maybe doing a little bit of a restructure of the way we present the podcast, the way we stream it, and what we're going to do. By all means, we'd love to hear your feedback on maybe what you'd like to see as well on the podcast and the way we break down fights. For example, we might just do more of an in-depth look at the main card fights and break those fights down more, and just do a quick pick on the prelim cards. And a lot of the fact is, it's a lot of time, guys and girls, for us to break down fights. It's very time consuming over a week period, especially when the UFC are banging out cards every week. So it is hard. My day job, Jonah, I work in an office. Best way to put it, mate. I work in payroll, helping people dodge paying tax, or as much tax as they should be paying. That's kind of what I do. I live on a little tax haven place in the Isle of Man. My company is one of the ones that the tax haven kind of dodges. Trust me, mate, if I could skip that job and do this bit more, get paid for doing the interviews and doing all that, I would 100% dedicate my time to this. With MMA training that I'm doing as well, because I'm hopefully going back in the cage myself next year, it's a bit hard for me and Will to get our full depth breakdowns in all the time on time. So we might do a quick overview on the prelims and then do a more main card breakdown. If you guys have got any thoughts on what you would like to see maybe as an idea for the podcast, feel free to comment below, whether it be a separate video for the prelims, if I maybe get a chance to. Yeah, it sucks donkey dick on it being in an office. Fingers crossed I will one day get out of that office life. It just pays for now. Liam, great to see you, my friend. I'm doing well. Look, Will's not here this week, like I said, but he is going to hopefully be back, if not this week, next week. So we're going to look at the future in a bit. But right now, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to do the predictions for the fight card coming up. And feel free to comment on each fight if you want to, or give us your predictions or thoughts. And even if it's non-fight card related, feel free to chat anyway. So it's an open platform when I do this. It's not as structured as when me and Will do our breakdowns. We go between each other back and forth. It is a little bit broken up. So, that's what we're looking to do the podcast. It's only because of time constraints for me and Will. And if we keep missing stuff like this because of commitments, Will's changed his hours at work and stuff as well, which has changed things a bit for him. If we can, we might change the structure a little bit, but I might even think about, if Will's up for it, if we can in some facet, I might do this open streaming. So if you guys are up for like an open stream like this, where maybe not break down a fight, where we just talk MMA, if there's stuff that's gone on, maybe do a weekly live stream, and just to get everyone in there, just have a quick chat, might be something we do as well. So it's something we're thinking about. We're looking to do a little tweak. It's our third year for the podcast. So we've not done too bad in 3 years. Now let's go to the card breakdown. Again, love to hear your thoughts. I haven't got the full fight card structure yet. I know that Kevin Holland and Jarquin Buckley is not as low on it's not the first card. I believe it's before Tim Means and Staropoli fight card. But just because of the kind of structure I have in front of me, I'm just going to go off that for now. So, like I say, Jarquin Buckley is stepping in to fight Kevin Holland on short notice. It's a middleweight contest. I look at it and I just see Kevin Holland should be able to possibly get a submission win here. I find that Jarquin is so compact as a fighter. He's quite short, stocky, and fights real close. He reminds me very much of John Phillips. You've all seen John Phillips fight in the UFC, where he kind of keeps everything nice and compact, and he tries to work his way into the fight in close. I think Kevin's a bit too smooth for that. I think he'd be able to keep that range away and enter with a takedown when he needs to and maybe get the fight to the ground to go for a submission. If not, I just don't see why Kevin Holland just can't keep him at distance and just pick away at Jarquin. I watched Jarquin. I thought he throws punches and bunches. He doesn't have like one punch KO power, but he can just catch you if you stay in the box a bit too much. And obviously he'll hit you with one or two. So for me, I wasn't overly impressed by Jarquin's performances outside of the UFC. Some of the opponents he fought as well, I wasn't overly taken back. But again, sometimes with short notice fights, UFC find guys who are kind of local to the area. They find guys who have got to win. It doesn't matter what the level particularly is. Sometimes it's just to get the fighter on the card, just to keep the fight card up. So I think Kevin Holland should have a nice, simple win here. I don't see too much trouble. As long as Kevin Holland takes the fight serious, I've got Kevin Holland winning this quite comfortably. I wouldn't be surprised if a submission win for him. Next up, we have featherweight division. I've got down here on this list in here is Aleksei against Giga Chikadze. I think Aleksei, if he was to stand and fight with Giga, I think he won't have a good day. I think Giga's a good kickboxer. He's got good kickboxing. He's got good footwork and space, and he's got good range. Lands off some good shots. Liam, there is some actually not. Do you know what? This fight card has got some good fights. It has got some surprisingly good fights on the card there. Like I said, there's two new additions, which we're going to mention in a minute about Rivera and Quasi. I'm totally murdering that name tonight. Do not fear. I will murder that name. So with Giga, look, it's not hard to beat Giga. You get him to the ground and you submit him, you choke him out, you pound his face to the mat. There is no simpler way to beat that guy. They're giving Aleksei, a dude who's like a 500 fighter. I would even say he's a gatekeeper. I'd say he's a gatekeeper for newcomers to see if they're kind of okay. For me, Aleksei, he has to get the fight to the ground. I don't feel like his wrestling's that strong either. So I think Caceres will try to keep the fight standing as well and try to use the kind of wild, abstract striking that he can apply to maybe throw Giga off, because Giga being a traditional kickboxer, with traditional kickboxing, you're used to kind of certain combinations coming at you. I've got Giga just picking him apart here. I think he'll pick Aleksei apart. I think it's an ideal fight for him. I think the UFC have given him kind of comfortable fights. I think Giga's had an easier intro to the UFC. Obviously, he's Ali's boy, so the UFC might be doing it that way, but I don't see any problems here for Giga. I think he should really piece up Aleksei for 3 rounds. Next up, I have a girl who is in the UFC. It's beyond me. She is absolutely gopping. Honestly, even if I met her in person, I'd be like, you got a golden ticket like Willy Wonka, Chocolate Factory prize. Nadia Kazim against Miranda Granger. Miranda, I got a feeling Miranda's going to absolutely terrorize this girl. Nadia is, I don't even know what she is. She's not even that hot either. Do you know what I mean? I understand, like, she's from Australia. She's got on the Australia card. She's crap. I don't know. She's not good at striking. She isn't good at wrestling. She's not great at submissions. She's just in the UFC by fluke, but she's Australian. That is it. There's nothing about her to write home about, honestly. I think she's going to get absolutely ragdolled by Miranda. I think Miranda's going to have a field day, getting her to the ground and choking her, ripping her arms or legs. I think Miranda's going to have a field day here. I think it's a perfect fight for the UFC to get Miranda a nice little highlight reel stoppage. Because obviously in the UFC, one of the fears is with some of the female fight cards, there's not as many finishes, it goes to decisions. You get her a nice little stoppage win, little highlight one, and it's a good one to promote Miranda. She's going to absolutely tear that division up. She's a great little addition. I followed her on outside of the UFC, and I think she's going to do well. So Nadia's going to have a rough time in the office, and then she'll get a pink slip finally, and we can get rid of her. So fingers crossed. Go Miranda. Okay, next up we have, like I say, Bantamweight division, new additions. Irvin Rivera against Ali Al-Quasisi. I'm going to go with Ali in this one. Watching him from what I could see online, from the fights I've watched, dude's in great condition. He's got good cardio, solid hitter. I think Irvin Rivera is game for Ali. I think he's a perfect kind of addition. He'll stand and bang, but Ali's got a better way of range finding. I think Irvin's not as good with the range. I just feel there's a bit of a difference, or gulf, with striking aspect on that side of things. So I definitely feel like Ali here could actually get a submission if he gets Rivera down, and I think that's something that can happen. I think he'd absolutely get Rivera to the fight. Get Rivera to the mat. That's the word I'm trying to say. Spit the words out here. I think I know that Rivera fought Giga and lost the decision, but he tried to strike with a blinking high level kickboxer. Just shows us the fight IQ. Just get him to the ground. I know he fought on Titan FC Rivera, but he's too short. I feel even for that weight class, I feel like he's a bit too short. Here we go, Padji. Here we go, Sarapin. Look, I think Irvin's a bit short for that weight class as well. I feel like he's just not going to get in the range of Ali. I think Ali should be able to pick him off and get into the ground and possibly submit him as well. Good to see you, Padji, man. Nice to have you on the podcast. Nice to see you on live stream, bro. Commented on the podcast as he does, and it's great to see you on, mate. And like everyone else, if you haven't commented before on the podcast and the comment stream, 2 cents as well. Families all coming together. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Look, 2 cents. I did explain why Will's not on the podcast today. It'll be on the start of this if you want to check it out. It'd be great to hear your feedback as well, bro, on what your thoughts are in what I mentioned before. So even to you, Parji, jump in, man, and let us know. Jeremy. It was Jeremy Pa. Dude, I am not saying Jeremy's name. Ali fought a guy called Jeremy. I cannot say his surname. I'll be honest out there. He looked good, looked solid in that fight. It's a good one to look online. It was on Brave CF. So the UFC, I think there must be some kind of deal as well with Brave, because obviously they went to the United Arab Emirates. There must be something going on there. Flubber from another mother, ET. I would love to know what ET means. Extra talented is what I am. Is that what it is, brother? Mate. Yes, very good, Flubber. I hope you're doing well. I'd love to hear predictions. Everyone else as well who's tuned in, give a like on the video if you get a chance, guys and girls, and also give us your predictions on the fight card. Love to hear what your thoughts are on these fights. So I'm going to go with Ali. I think he could possibly get Irwin in a submission and get the win. I think submission win, well up there for Ali, possible there. That dude's shredded as well, man, when he's in a fight as well. Featherweight division up next. Yusuf Zalal against Peter Barrett. Man, I don't see anything other than Yusuf getting a win here. I think Yusuf's not a bad dude as well. I think he's an interesting cat to watch. Footwork, range that he uses, the way he moves around the cage is super good as well. Like, he's frustrated as well for fighters, as well as being very good at fighting himself. I know that you had Peter Barrett, who fought in the Contender Series, for Sang-Hoon Yu, was it? Sang-Hoon Yu, yeah, or Sang-Hoon Yo. I might be pronouncing the surname wrong. Sorry, Sang, my bad. Fought hard. It was a hard-fought decision win there. And it was a tough fight. And he didn't do too bad. He fought on his Cage Titans, it's a East Coast promotion. That's it. Cage Titans, East Coast promotions, man. I'm going to take Rivera. Definitely on the... Yeah, Rivera, man. Look, I'm not saying Rivera won't win. I'm just feel like Ali's got a little bit more, not just on striking. I think he's got the grappling aspect to possibly get a problem. But Zalal, yeah, I think Peter Barrett I think he's actually a bit too hittable for someone like Yusuf, man. I think Peter Barrett will want to try and close it down, get it to the cage, grapple a bit. I think Yusuf's going to be frustrating, man, for Peter. I think he's going to be popping the jabs, the 1-2s, using the footwork, angling off. I think Peter's going to have a frustrating night because I thought Zhang was too static. Zhang was happy to go forward and facing, and there were just no lateral movements. It was horizontal. They were back and forth. With Yusuf, you get the lateral movements, and one thing in fighting is angles. If anyone's ever done striking or anything, angles are king. So it won't seem like a lot, but when you watch a guy fight, you watch their front foot. If you're the opponent, you want your front foot to be on the outside. Okay, you want to be on the outside. Okay, and then with being on the outside, you can circle off. With Yusuf, what he'll do is he'll come along, he'll be on the outside, he'll pop off his shot, and he'll just move away. And then with that being on the outside, Barrett's having to chase after for the strike. I just think Yusuf's going to be a fun addition to this weight class, and I think he'll be able to do it. So I'm going Yusuf, probably a decision win, possibly here. I think he can definitely get the win, though. Fun fight up next, though. Gavin Tucker against Justin Jaynes. I like Gavin Tucker as a fighter. I think he's a wicked little addition. I think he's a superb little fighter. Justin Jaynes is the opponent who, dude, has got a bit of pop in his hands. I think, yeah. What do I say about Justin Jaynes? I know he beat Frank Camacho in a wild 2-minute fight. 2-minute fight. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not writing that off. But Frank Camacho likes to stand still and be a rock and sock him. He is going to either knock you or he's going to get knocked out. That is a Frank Camacho fight. Gavin Tucker, I think he's too technical on that aspect. I think he's a different kind of level of fighter. I know Justin Jaynes came in short notice, so we'll see a different Justin. We'll see, obviously, he'll have a different conditioning. He'll be ready to fight. And he's got good submissions. He's got submission wins himself, and he's got a bit of pop in his hands. He won't fight like he did against Frank Camacho, because obviously in the Frank Camacho fight, he just thought, I've got one round in me, and then I'm goosed. He went in, and it paid off. Either way, win or lose, he was going to get another fight. I'm going with Gavin Tucker. I think Gavin Tucker's more technical. He's got good little leg kicks, Gavin Tucker, wicked little calf kicks. He's got good grappling aspect. I think Gavin could really mix up this fight and get a solid decision win. If he doesn't get the submission win, possibly, I'm going to go with Gavin Tucker for a decision win. I think he's just got a wicked all-round game set. I think he's a wonderfully technical fighter. And Gavin Tucker's one of the guys I like to enjoy watching. Outside of the UFC and into the UFC, I was kind of excited to see him go and get into the big boy leagues. So I'm going with Gavin Tucker on that one. Feel free, again, let me know who you're picking. If you've not watched the fights if you've not researched Gavin Tucker or Justin Jaynes, fair enough. Don't worry about it. Next up, we have an interesting matchup in Andrew Sanchez and Wellington Turman. Again, middleweight action. Andrew Sanchez is one of those dudes where you think if he had a solid 3 rounds if he could wrestle for 3 rounds, he would be a terror in the middleweight division. But he just doesn't seem to have the 3-round gas to apply the pressure he wants to apply. He wants to be a 3-round guy who puts heavy pressure on folk and is really forward coming. One thing that doesn't work out for him or work out well for him is when he's got guys who have got good gas tanks who come out fighting as well and put pressure on him. The thing with Wellington is a forward fighting guy, likes to put pressure on someone as well. So it's going to be an interesting fight because I think it's going to be a grappling aspect, man. I think we're going to see a lot of cage work, a lot of underhook fights, and obviously they're going to fight for the takedowns. And Wellington himself, he is a decision guy, so he's got good conditioning. He's got an okay striking, but what he has got, he's got that grappling with the underhook battles. He's good at winning those, and he's good at pressuring. I'm always cautious on Sanchez because I always worry about his gas tank. But I think it might, for Sanchez, this fight might play into his hands. I think like with the, who was the Canadian cat that he fought? Sanchez fought that Canadian cat who signed up. Who was the guy's name? I'm going to have to quickly just look on here because I always forget his name because it's double barrel and it's a little bit French, so I'm a little bit awful. Marc Andrew Barou. All right, okay. So that one again, Mark that style of fight worked for Sanchez because he's happy with the grappling aspect, happy with the underhooks. He will happily just stay against the cage, pressure, little knees, elbow shots, break and engage. I think with this one, I think Turman might get the better of them in a later second, third round. I'm going to go with Andrew Sanchez. I just think he might be able to squeeze out this win here. I know Andrew Sanchez worked with Duke Rufus in the past with striking, but I'm going to go with Andrew Sanchez with the grappling aspect. I think he can get 2 rounds and it'll secure the win for him. Because I think in the third round, you'll see Wellington come into it, but it'll just be a little bit too late. I think the style won't work. Boone here. Hey, how's it going? Boone, Will is not here, bro. But he, like I said at the start of the podcast, there's a reason why. And if you check it out, if you go back and listen when this is posted, I'd love to hear your feedback and everyone else's feedback on that. And love for you all to join in on the conversation. So I'm going to go Sanchez. I think he can get like a 2-1 decision, 29-28. But I would not be surprised if Wellington gets the win here. It's going to be a super tight fight. It's going to be a grinder. It's one way you put the kettle on, make yourself a cup of tea and have a little slurp. Oh, delicious. Now, next up in the lightweight division, fun little fight. Nasrat Haqparast against Alexander Muñoz. Now, Nasrat is an exciting prospect in the sense that he's kind of settled into the UFC, so it's hard to call him a prospect, but he is an exciting little fighter. I think it's Alexander Muñoz. That's the word. I couldn't spit my words out there, folks, could I? Spitting bricks. I think he's a wicked little fighter. I think he's an exciting little prospect, but I do feel that he's going to come up short, Alexander Muñoz. I think the hand speed for Haqparast is there. I think the work he can do is there all day long. I know that Alex beat Nick Newell, and I feel like Nick Newell is a fantastic kind of little fighter. I think he's a solid fighter, but he did retire, then decided to come back. And that was one of the things on the Contender Series. I was a bit bummed out about that. Holland around minus 450 lock for sure. Minus 450. Man, I expect that to be kind of high. Jarquin coming in short notice. That's kind of cool. 450. That's a solid little bet though, bro. And Zalal. Oh, is that a parlay? Or is that what's Zalal's? Zalal minus 450? I haven't seen. I don't know the odds, I'm afraid. So I cannot help on that one. Now, Nasrat came short against Drew Dober. That was kind of his marker. I think that Nasrat, it was his kind of opportunity to see, right, am I ready for the bigger leagues? Am I ready for the bigger chance against the higher echelon in that weight class? They're for sure wins. Yeah, they are, bro. Yeah, I'm with you. Okay. Really torn this fight. Yeah, Sanchez, good wrestler. He is, man. Turman is very dangerous with submissions. Still taping this one. Mate, it is a hard one, man. I am parlay for sure. Yeah, Defo, bro. Martial arts fan. Yeah, I'm with you, parlay on that. It is a hard one, 2 cents, that fight before. Will the wrestling, and what I mean by that is Turman can do the submissions on the ground, but Sanchez just has to keep against the cage and not go to the ground to win the fight. And I think that might be something to look at and just grind that fight out for Sanchez just getting the win sometimes. And that seems to be his style of fight. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Give us your picks in the description below. Join the conversation. Love to hear you picking on these fights. So yeah, Nasrat lost to Drew Dober. It was not a big deal because he's still super young. I know we got the wins against Jarquin and Gucci, etc., and he's still a super talent. I think he's still growing. Drew Dober didn't go off the mark of Boyle. He kind of slowly came up as well, and Drew Dober's now starting to find his groove, and he's an absolute savage in that lightweight division, and Drew Dober's been in the UFC for a long time. I think Nasrat just has to do the same thing, pace himself, build himself, and he'll be absolutely merchandise in no time. I'm going to go with Nasrat here. I think with Alex Muñoz, I think he'll have a good time with the striking, so I think Alex will be happy to engage in it. Sorry, John, mate. My Wi-Fi's on a mad one here. Stream keeps cutting off. Apparently, if my stream is bad, I'm told apparently the stream, it says bad connection. I've not had it say it yet. So if it is playing up, guys, I do apologize. I've got nothing here. My Wi-Fi is only on my laptop at the moment. I've got nothing else on. No, there's nothing else that will be messing up the stream. So if it is playing up a little bit, apologies on that one. Here we go. So martial arts fan, I don't want to bet against Sanchez. He improves his cardio, way more solid. Yeah, that is it. Sanchez is just about the cardio thing. If you can get the cardio going, he'd be golden. I'll maybe try and slow things down a little bit with my speaking. Maybe if that, I don't know if that will maybe help a little bit. Hopefully it comes through a little bit clearer. But I'm going with Nasrat. I think with this fight, it's a nice way to get him going again. It's a good opportunity for Muñoz to get in the UFC anyway. He'll be a good fighter, good striker, and I think he's got some good attributes in this division. It'll be fun to see Muñoz go in there. But I just think Nasrat's a bit of a tough one to come into UFC debut. I thought it was my yeah. Black screen every time. Black screen it. See, apparently it tells me, man. Well, I won't lie, folks. My Wi-Fi can be absolute dog shit sometimes. So, apologies on that one. Yeah, Nasrat for sure on that one. Cheers, 2 cents. Okay, so we're going to go next up to the prelim main event, which is Tim Means against Staropoli. So, Laureano, Staropoli. I'm actually not going again. I'm not going with Tim Means now. I would normally pick Tim Means most times because I just like Tim Means, man. He's a dirty little fighter. He's a fun fighter to watch, a good little addition to the UFC for years and put on good fights. But I just don't know. Do you know when there's that time when some fighters maybe start to come off and things start to not go well? If you look at his record over the past few years, man, decision losses, which is fair enough. He's got a couple of finishes, which is good. But I feel like the Daniel Rodriguez fight, he got absolutely murdered in that fight, like straight up murked. But Staropoli, man, I think Staropoli's a fun dude to watch, a fun addition. The Shaquille fight was a fun fight, a decision, which was a questionable decision loss that he had. But I feel like Thiago Alves fight, he looked good there because he went from Hector Aldano to Thiago Alves. I don't know who the hell thought that would be a good idea, but he came out on top because Thiago Alves was past his best. Great little win for him. I just feel Staropoli has got too much variation in his offense. It would just put Tim Means off. Tim Means will find a bit. I think he might find a bit difficult getting his range. The kind of kicks that Staropoli throws with the head kicks and spinning kicks. I think it might just be. I think it might be just a bit much for Tim Means to kind of get through and kind of get the win here. I thought Staropoli's good in the clinch, just like Tim Means. I feel like on the feet is where it's going to stay. I'm just wondering where Tim Means is going to get the advantage because Tim's been rocked a handful of times. Staropoli could certainly get this. Yeah, I think he is definitely ready for this one. And I think I think the UFC is doing really well with Staropoli. I think the way they're building this dude up with the matches, I like it. Yeah, like take TKO, mate. That's one thing he could be doing, martial arts fan. He could definitely get a late TKO. I'm kind of going Staropoli. If he doesn't get a finish, I reckon decision win. But Tim Means got a bit tired. Those kind of kicks that Staropoli can throw, and he can throw them in the later rounds. 100% he can get that in there. So, yeah, guys, I can see you all tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in, joining this conversation. It is more of a community, the MMA Huddle. It's not myself and Will who dictate anything. We just give our thoughts on the fights, but we love to hear what people think about fights. We love to hear people's ideas on who's going to win, who's going to lose, and what you all think, because we love to just converse about the fight game because it's a 50-50 opportunity. Anyone can knock anyone out. Doesn't take a lot. No one thought Holly Holm was going to absolutely spark Ronda Rousey that quick in that way. Means durability worries me. Yeah, Liam, yeah, really decreased. It has, mate. And you know what? There you go. Tantum, yep, Staropoli, 2 cents as well. Agreeing with Liam. I'm with it because it is a case of sometimes over years of fighting and the weight cuts, it can have an effect on your body. So I'm kind of going Staropoli, man. I think he should be good for this and he should be good for the win. So let's go now to the main card, all right, which is going to be fun. It's going to be interesting because Beneil Dariush, who I freaking love as a fighter, especially on the jiu-jitsu side of things, where I think he's just a wicked grappler. If you ever watch like his grappling credentials and see what he's done on the grappling scene, he's a wizard on the ground. And Tantur, let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, main card. Scott Holtzman going in, though, against Beneil Dariush. Man, Scott Holtzman has been improving over the years and just kind of been a solid lightweight, just gradually grown, man. It's crazy to see how much he's developed over the past, say, 18 months, 2 years. He's done superb. He's coming now to get its test. They're like, right, cool. You're beating the guys on the middle kind of echelon of the lightweights. We've got to give you the high test now. Here you go. You're getting Beneil Dariush. What a horrible matchup that is. Scott Holtzman is usually some good guy to get the guys down to the ground and grapple them out. Well, Beneil Dariush is a handy guy to have on his back because he'll just triangle arm bars. He can switch to get the back. He can sweep. He's got all these little tricks up his sleeve. So, man, it's going to be super interesting to see the game plan that Scott Holtzman's going to apply in this fight game. Because if I'm Beneil Dariush, I've been working with Rafael Cordeiro for eons now, what it feels like. His striking's coming along. His confidence in his striking is there. Obviously, his last fight, which was a bit of a bomb burner, but the problem was you cannot, if you're Beneil Dariush, get hit like that too much. Now, I was a bit pleased, so to speak, that he didn't get knocked out against Close. But you can't just be punching each other like that and getting rocked. He needs to use his head movement a little bit more. It needs to be a bit more calmer. But I'm sure confidence is there that he's got his chin. It hasn't gone. Man, I've got Beneil. I can't look past this one. I was thinking about taking Means with veteran experience, but I just feel Staropoli will outwork him. Yeah, that is something Staropoli has that output with the leg kicks, just in my sense. One thing with leg kicks is it's a lot longer than a punch, and Means has to get those punches in if he wants to get in there. And if he throws his kicks too, I think Staropoli will start playing the kicking game, and it will hurt both of them. But I think Staropoli's got a stronger kicking game, in my opinion. Oh, another slurping me cup of tea. How do you have your cup of tea if you drink tea, guys? Mine's no sugar because I'm sweet enough, as you can tell, and a dash of milk. Not too much. I like it strong. I'm going Beneil Dariush. I feel like he's got the submission game if Scott Holtzman wants to get the fight to the ground. And I also think he's too much of a threat on the ground for Scott Holtzman to threaten it, to take it there, to try and dominate on top. And also Beneil's on the feet. I think he's just a better striker on the feet. I think he's more fluid. He's more fluid on the feet, leaning towards Staropoli decision. Yeah, defo, bro. I'm with you on that. I would lean towards Staropoli decision too. So I'm kind of favoring Beneil Dariush. I just think that he's got the skill set to get the win. I think Beneil can definitely get this done. So my 2 cents are going on Beneil Dariush for the decision win. Scott Holtzman's a tough cookie, man. I think he can absolutely tough it out for the 3 rounds. So I'm going Beneil there. Next up in the women's bantamweight division, Yana Kunitskaya is back against, here we go, I'm going to absolutely wreck this name. Obviously, the parents had a field day with this one. Possibly like, there you go, Liam joining in too. Julija Stoliarenko. That is it. I'm saying it once and once only. After that now, she's Julija. Okay, that's it, Julija. I am not saying that surname. No, thank you. Okay. And this last is she's called like the armbar. I think it's like the armbar. She's known for her armbars. It's like the armbar queen or whatever they called it. She won just like countless fights with armbar. She fought on Invicta FC. She got a split decision against Lisa Vizosa. And I won't be lying, it wasn't even a great fight. I thought she got pieced up on the feet. Georgia will pull guard and go for the armbar. She will literally just, as soon as a fight clinches, she jumps to her back. And don't get me wrong, she's quick. Xavier, I think Dariush takes care of business. 2 cents. Nice, bro. Honestly, like Julija is quick at getting that armbar. She is on it fast. But I think knowing that's what she's going to do, it's not that hard to stop it. I'm not being rude. I think the girls as well that she fought, if you look at the record, some of them were debut. Some of them just had no right to be in there. They clearly were not knowledgeable enough on how to even defend an armbar. Still taping this woman's fights. Yeah, honestly, you can see some of her fights, bro, on YouTube and stuff like that. Man, if you look at armbars, it's simple to defend as long as you, first and foremost with an armbar, is you've got to have your hips in the right place. If someone's hips, if that's the body and your body is in line with the hips, it's very difficult then for them to really crank it. They want to get their angle away to isolate the arms so they can put the pressure on. First, you want to get the hips. You want to stack them. You want to get the pressure on. And then you want to secure your arm with the other arm. Honestly, the armbar drill defense, it's 1, 2, 3. It's just naturally built into you. I remember in my amateur fights, I got caught nearly in an armbar And it was just natural defense kicking in, and you were able to get out of it. These girls that she fought just didn't do that well. She nearly got the armbar against Lisa at the start of the Invicta UFC fight, but she got out of it, Lisa, and then that was it. It really was a problem for her. So I think here, Yana Kunitskaya, she's just levels above this girl. If Yana gets caught with an armbar, that's her own fault for being stupid and falling for that trick. Do not let that fight go to the ground. I'm taking Yana as well. I'm going Yana all day. I think Yana should just absolutely piece this girl up. Pick out, just pop her off with the jabs and 1-2s. Julija wasn't that great with the striking. I think Yana will just be able to stand and just pick away. There's no need to take this girl to the ground. If that's her golden ticket, was an armbar, if that's what her thing is, if you could stop that, you then have to bring her B game out. What else have you got? And it seems her B game is pretty weak. So Julja's going to have difficulty if she's getting punched on the end of Yana's fists. She's not going to have a good time. She's not the best at closing the range. She kind of waits for the opponent to close the distance to then, as the opponent comes into it, she falls back. So she needs the momentum from opponent. Paulie Peace, I'd wait till weigh-ins. Yeah. I'm going Yana for decision here. Or even, I don't know about TKO. She could TKO her, but I'm going Yana for decision. I don't see why or how she can lose this fight. It's there. It's made for Yana to absolutely murder this girl. Ooh. God dang, I love a cup of tea. Next up we have is the middleweight division. We've got 2 middleweight fights coming up. One of them I am super excited about. I didn't have time to get in contact with Darren to get him on the podcast. I always usually get an interview with Darren because I've known Darren since his pro debut. Darren Stewart taking on Maki Pitolo. I think this fight's made for Darren Stewart. I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. Darren fought Fabinsky, who's just a grappler, and Darren's kind of weakness in the fight game is his grappling. That's the weakest part of his game is the grappling aspect. For me, though, Darren Stewart, his strongest asset is his footwork. He's got nice, smooth footwork, good range, and he's got good 1-2s. He's got a good elbow as well in the clinch game, but I think Darren in this fight, it's perfect for him. And, I think Darren's going to smash some coconuts. I think Darren in this fight here, he's fighting a guy in Maki who's not the best footwork. He's not got the best technical striking. He's not got the great, I don't think he's the greatest all-around skill set. Yeah, exactly, man. Yes, indeed. Picking Stewart, like, whoa, just my 2 cents, bro. That's what I'm doing. I'm picking Darren Stewart. I think he can manage the range. I think he can really land good, solid jabs. And then when he needs to, implement that straight, really landing those punches heavy on Maki. And I think Maki's actually probably going to fall here in this fight. I think maybe if he doesn't fall first round, I think he might get knocked down in the first, but I think definitely second, third round, you should see Darren Stewart get the victory here. And I think it's a perfect, Dennis for the win, Tantrum. Yeah, definitely, man. Tantuum, is it? Tantuum, my apologies. Oh, no, Tamtuum. Dude, if I'm killing that name, apologies. Maki completely switched off too, yeah. Yeah, he can be. Because he's like, it reminds me of Camacho. He's like Camacho again. He's willing to stand there. He's willing to hit, to throw one back, to land one. And you cannot do that in the UFC. It's a style that gets people's eyes on you. But if you're wanting to be the best, you cannot stand there and take a shot to land a shot. It will not bode well for you long-term fighting. It just doesn't work. Not in this day and age anyway. You cannot afford to do it because there's too many fading this fight. Okay, Marshall, it's fine, interesting. I've got Darren Stewart, second, third round finish, man. I think he can absolutely take his time, piece up Maki, and then get the stoppage. So, yeah, let's do it, dentist. Co-main event. He's 1-5. He was once the baddest motherfucker at middleweight in the world. Beat the best king, pound-for-pound middleweight champ ever, Anderson Silva. Chris Weidman fighting Omari Akhmedov. Like, even saying it out loud is weird. Like, I've just said that he's fighting Omari Akhmedov. Wait. I feel you can get good value on Stewart. Was minus 190. He's now minus 160. That's sick, mate. That is sick value 160. Mate, I would jump all over that. like a cheap whore, mate. Honestly, that's good. That's good. So yeah, Chris Weidman, man. Oh, man, I am torn on his co-main event, guys and girls. I would love for some input and insight on your views on this, because I am semi-stuck with this, because Omari, he's unbeaten in like 5 fights, which, you know, credit to him. Since becoming a middleweight, he's done okay. He fights a bit infrequent for my liking. He's like a fight or 2 a year at most. You know, gosh, here we go. Look, Abdul Hassan, we got split decision there. But like the middleweight, Tim Boetsch, decision win. It's an okay win. Tim Boetsch on the latter stage of his career, big time. Zach Cummins, basically a welterweight that just didn't want to cut anymore because Zach Cummins was kind of big. But again, decision win. It was an okay fight. And then Ian Heinisch was his best win. And that was a good win. That was a good fight. It was a clash of two guys, because they're not the best strikers, but they kind of cancel each other out the grappling. I took Weidman versus Jack Ray and boom, KO'd. Yeah, I'm taking Weidman here. Yeah. His chin is dodgy. Yeah, it is. But I don't think Omari will put him away like that. Could be wrong, but Chris is such a good wrestler and he's a legit black belt on the ground. It's if the fight goes to the ground, that's the thing. Like Omari, that's the problem with guys. He needs to land one good punch on Weidman, and I think Weidman, lights might go out. He might be on his ass, and then you've got Weidman in a sticky situation. Man, it's so. I hope he works on his defense. That's the problem. Like, he needs to work on head movement. His hands need to be up more. He needs to be far more switched on, Chris Weidman. He needs the W, and he'll admit that he knows he needs to get a win, not even a good win. He just needs to get a win. That's all he needs. They will not give him another chance after this. He cannot keep a guy with another loss, especially to Omari Akhmedov. For Omari, though, if I'm Omari, man, I'm going to try and hurt this dude. I'm going to try and hurt Weidman. I'm going to take my time, be patient. When he comes in close, then I'm just going to let rip. I'm going to throw a 3-punch combo and hope at least the last punch lands, because I'm going to come forward with the strikes. Still my boy, third round KO. Who you got for the KO? Bro, who you got it for the KO? Weidman or Omari? Because, man, Omari can hit kind of heavy, because he's just so compact and he just waits for dudes to come in that range. Weidman, though, he can fight a distance. He just has to, in this fight sensible. Keep Omari on there again punches and don't let him come close, and just win the decision. Jab and punch straights. Don't bother trying to do crazy stuff. If the opportunity is there for a grappling aspect and to take him down, by all means, get that wrestling and take him down. But if I'm Chris Weidman, I'd keep money under my punches. I would go for a couple of takedowns. If they're not there, don't waste my energy. Just get off, break, and then re-go. Because at least you're then in Omari's head that Chris might go to take things down, and it might leave the striking a little bit more open. If you're Chris Weidman, don't throw anything stupid. Don't do a Luke Rockhold. Oh, I'll do a spinning wheel kick. Don't do anything crazy. Keep it basic. Keep it simple. Get the win. It's hard to pick Weidman, but I've got to pick him, because why would you pick Omari? Like, if Omari wins this, he actually gets pushed into like the higher echelon potentially. Then you think, what is going on with this middleweight division? It's weird picking Chris Weidman here, but they might feel like they need to give Weidman a chance to keep him on the books. I don't know. I think Weidman was silly with his big mouth a lot of the times. I think he just needs to shut his mouth and focus on his fighting. Weidman, yeah, I'm not going to go KO, bro. I think Weidman might be safe to play a decision win just to get the W. So I'm going Chris Weidman for the decision win. Main event next. And my balls, ladies and gentlemen, are not hot, because I've got loose joggers on and they're running free and wild and they're nice and cool. But do let me know how your balls are. It is, and I think he should change his name, by the way. It's Derrick, he's okay, Lewis against Aleksei Oleinik. Interesting fight, guys, because Oleinik just wants one way to win, which is grab you and take you to the ground. And Lewis just wants to hit you hard with his hands, and that's it. Lewis, that's about all he wants to do. I like the style. It is classic striker grappler. One thing Derrick Lewis has, he's got a heavy sprawl. That dude sprawls hard. Weidman isn't a bad striker offensively, but yeah, he's not a very durable one anymore. That is... I'm just questioning what they're going to do with Weidman. Just my 2 cents, mate. Honestly, I'm stuck on what they're going to do with him. Even if he did get a win here, like if Weidman wins, in my opinion, and he's still my boy, Bisping. Yeah, he's still my big boy, Bisping. Hey, MMA KO, nice to see you. If I'm honest, I would give Chris Weidman. I hope he gets the win. I'd like to give him against Darren Till because that'd be a great one for Darren Till. Gets Darren Till on the W side of things. That'd be a good one for him. Oleinik by a choke. No one's ever heard about the Ezekiel Choke. It's got another name, the Ezekiel Choke, if you're in on jiu-jitsu, but I can't. I don't want to say it out loud. It's the indecently. It's the she said no touch choke. You know what I mean? So Weidman got caught by Jacare. No, Weidman just got silly with Jacare, just going in there for that striking, man. I think people underestimate Jacare's striking, if I'm honest with you. Power. I think it was the big thing there. Only to get a sub. Ooh, exactly where does he go from here? Man, I think I'd give Darren Till to Weidman. Feed him Weidman and get the win for Till. Hopefully it'll help Till out. Till's more of a product or a brand than Weidman is nowadays. Weidman's not really a brand. Okay, so we've got a couple here by Oleinik. Okay, I'm going to be fair to you guys. You've got to look at Derrick Lewis's sprawl. He's got a heavy, hard sprawl. He's strong. He's a big dude. Oleinik is got to get the fight to the ground. That's one thing he's got to do. He's got to get past Derrick Lewis's heavy hands. Now, Derrick Lewis hasn't got the best takedown defense, but he has got a good sprawl. Yeah, I'd like to see Till versus Brunson too, Liam. But I think they need to give... My feeling is for Till, they just need to get him on that win column. He got the win against Kelvin Gastelum, but I think they need to get him a couple of wins. I think they need to stop throwing him. Yeah, Brunson, nasty ground and pound. Yeah, man. Brunson's always had that, though. Brunson's always had nasty ground and pound. It's just some of the... he's matured. He's got his head in the game now, Brunson. This is his best time. This is probably his last stab at a title shot, his in title run. So, for me, I think Till wouldn't be the best one for Brunson. I'd give... If I was Darren... Jack Hermanson, Derek Brunson, maybe? I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Brunson, to be honest with you. I think Till would... I'd like to give him... I'd hope Weidman win to give him... Or even Omari. If Omari beat Weidman, give Till one of them two. Brunson has some power, yeah. And he's 100%... Yeah, man, he's a wrestler, man. Brunson is a wicked wrestler. Oleinik, 8 years older as well. 43. God dang, Boone. 43 years old. And he's just crazy, man. Yeah, Hermanson versus Brunson. I think that'd be a sick fight. Because you've got Hermanson's horrendous ground and pound and Brunson's who can get on top and, who can get the ground game going. If it even gets to the ground, it might nullify each other and it might be standing. Time going Lewis TKO. Okay, nice. I'm actually going towards Derrick Lewis, guys. I really am. Honestly, I don't know. Oleinik doing 5 rounds. Man, that'll be interesting watching Oleinik do 5 whole rounds in a fight. Derrick Lewis has no cardio, and he will walk around that cage knowing it's a 5-round fight. He'll have no interest in engaging something too much. Oleinik's had a decision win against Fabrizio Verdun, which was his last one, which went 3 rounds. Prior to that, he's had a handful of 3 rounds. Never done a 5-rounder. Derrick Lewis, he's one of them once. Well, it is a pick 'em. I'm going, yeah, it is that crazy retard strength there. He is indeed. Derrick Lewis got insane power, and Derrick Lewis pulls fights off. He was absolutely getting battered by Volkov, and then that was it. He went, I'm all right now. I'm bored, and just hits him, and that's it. Right, my turn, and just hits him with this rocket. Derrick Lewis has got KO power the whole fight. He's always got KO power. So that is the thing, Derrick Lewis. He doesn't have to hit you with everything to hit you, to hurt you. He's got KO power 100% of the time. And if he just improves the technique, he just needs to speed onto it. So when he just flicks out, that's going to hurt. Man, I think Oleinik, he's not been good at taking the shots. If you're Derrick Lewis, you're going to have your stance a bit lower in the fight. not be too upright as he is sometimes. Now, we do know that Derrick Lewis had the back issues in the past. If he can have his stance a little bit lower, Oleinik comes in, sprawl, just get up, just get disengaged, get the hell out of there. But he just has to land a heavy shot, man. If they get in the clinch, throw the knees on Oleinik. We saw that Oleinik didn't like getting kneed as well in the clinch, especially with Alsaroveri. Yeah, he's got a weird get-up ability. I know. And it's just because Derrick Lewis obviously cuts to 265. So he's probably about 285, let's say, when he gets in there. He's so big, he just stands up. He just gets up because how many guys do you know that can hold on to a 285-pound fucking savage and not just hold him still? Like, Oleinik's going to have a rough time even holding him and controlling him. Even if Oleinik pulls guard, you're going to have that guy on top of you, and Derrick will just hit you hard. He doesn't care. It's so big. Yeah, he's so hard to keep down, Derrick Lewis, because he's just so big to get up. Some guys just aren't strong enough or big enough to hold him down. And let's remember, Oleinik's not an original heavyweight. He just went up to heavyweight over the years because as he got older, he just went, I cannot be bothered cutting weight. I like the cake. I like the biscuits. And salad ain't for me. Just raw, get off me. It is. It's like the classic, Lenny, isn't it? He's like Lenny in, what's that book called? The two... about the Great Depression, very famous book, and I've just caught myself off guard here. Lenny, here we go. I want to Google that one quickly. Lenny Carrot, here we go. There we go. Of Mice and Men, there it is. Of Mice and Men. It was going to do my absolute bouncing, so I'm glad I got that. Yeah, that's it. Of Mice and Men, Lenny's strength. He's like stroking a rabbit and kills it. And he just pulls fights out. Derrick Lewis is not the most technical. I just, do you know what it is? If I'm outside of this podcast, I'll remember everything. But when I'm here, I go, can't remember who that fighter is. I can't remember the last fight they fought. I can't remember their name. Everything just goes. My brain just goes, fuck off, and just goes over there. It just leaves me. And then when this is over, I go back and I go, boom, and it all comes back to me. But yeah, I'm going Derrick Lewis for the main event too. I just think he's got horrible power. And Oleinik, he's just seeing me. He's not overly keen to engage in striking. Doesn't want to take too much damage because Oleinik is happy to turn over fights often. And it seems he's happy to just, if he get hit and he gets a bit rocked, he's happy to just, I'll bow out now. I don't want to get out for 3, 4, 5 month suspensions at 43 years old as well. What's he going to do? There's not much. He's got not many fights left in him. I don't know how long his contract is. So, guys, yeah, I'm going with Derrick Lewis too. Now, on the betting side of things, I need to quickly have a look here. Give me a second, guys. Let me jump into this bad boy. I have not put any bets down yet. Now, I don't know if Will's got any bets himself, but for me, prop bet-wise, I'm definitely towards Darren Stewart with a finish, a TKO finish, Darren Stewart or KO, whatever you want to call it. I think that's got to be on there. I think that'd be some good odds. I'd go with parlay-wise. I think martial arts fan mentioned before. There's a couple of good odds there. I like to see what Miranda is against Nadine. Let's go. Paddy Power one. Paddy Power. Here we go. Let me just jump on there. Yeah, I use Paddy Power, folks. I know other sites are available. Look, Liam, look after yourself, friend. Keep safe. Hopefully see you back soon, mate. Again, feel free to give me some of your ideas about what you think about the podcast for the future. As we said before at the start of the podcast, there are some changes that are coming. But because this is not it is our podcast that me and Will do, but it's your podcast because it's what we want you guys to enjoy it. So we want you guys to jump in and give us your thoughts and opinions on it, okay? So let's have a look here. So odds-wise, where are we? Okay, so Kevin Holland, heavy favorite. So leave that one out. Zalal, heavy favorite. So you could do a couple of parlays to get your odds up. I think you'll be heavy favorite. Like I think Zalal and Kevin Holland, solid little parlay pieces there. Probably get some plus money with that. Gavin Tucker is a favorite too. Andrew Sanchez he's a dog. He will fight. He's a dog money. I think Holland Zalal money is going to come in on them. I agree, martial arts fan. I'm with you on that. Andrew Sanchez is an underdog. He is a guy that fights for your money. So I definitely think about looking at that odds. Nasrat, favorite, expected. Tim Means, not a favorite. Staropoli's a favorite, but the money's not too bad on him. Probably you could probably look at see what that is on Friday. Staropoli's odds might come a little bit stronger. Beneil Dariush favorite standard. Yana Kunitskaya, she's a favorite, but not a huge one. Yeah, Darren Stewart favorite standard. Yeah. Oh, Chris Weidman coming into it. That's going to be close to a pick him. Chris Weidman against Omari. See what the odds are come Friday for that. That might be worth jumping on to. And last but not least, yeah, Derrick Lewis favorite against Oleinik. I'd go potential bet as well would be 2 finishers, Derrick Lewis, Darren Stewart, KOs. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Lewis Oleinik fight card predictions done. Thank you all for tuning in, and thank you all for the comments. Feel free again to give your comments below. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done already. The more you subscribe, the more love we get, the better this is for the podcast and helps us also. Tune in next week where it'll be Stipe Miocic against DC. Woo! That will be disgusting, baby. That's filth, that fight. So UFC 252. God dang, I'm looking for that. Guys, I love you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Keep safe. Look after each other. Enjoy some MMA. There's Bellator and all sorts of promotions kicking off around now. So lots of fights to look into as well. So take care. Much love.